Hello students, in our last session we learned about neuron cells which control and coordinate various functions of our body. We know that when many cells put together they form one tissue and many tissues form one organ. So when neuron cells along with other cells like glial cells are put together they form different tissues of the brain. And these tissues together form an organ called brain, the master controller. We all know brain is made up of neural cells called neurons. But do you know how many neurons are present in a brain? A human brain is made up of 86 billion neuron cells. You will be surprised to know that the other animals also have huge number of neurons. Insects like fruit fly have 100,000 neurons. Mouse has 75 million neurons, while cat has 250 million neurons. Chimpanzees have 7 billion neurons in their brain, and elephant's brain consists of 257 billion neurons. Students, this was just for fun. Now let's move forward and take up an activity to start understanding the most complex organ, the brain. In this activity, you have to identify and say the colors used in the text displayed on your screen. Watch out, you are not supposed to read the words, but their color. For example, the first word is yellow, but you have to say it as green. Wasn't it interesting? It is hard to ignore words and focus on other signals like color and shape. This effect is called as Stroop effect in the context of such type of games. Now use the letter and number code to decode the given information. What is the letter for code 26? Yes, you are right. It is for L. Likewise, you can decode other codes. Which part of the body was working hard to help you perform complex functions such as reading, analyzing, comprehending, and problem solving? Yes, it is the brain, the most amazing and complex organ of our body. Let us now explore the structure and functions of the human brain. Identify who are these. This is Stephen Hawking in our first image, a renowned British physicist, a disabled person due to a disease affecting the nerve cells or neuron in the brain. But this never hindered him from making some important scientific discoveries. You have rightly recognized the second image is of great scientist Einstein. The father of the theory of relativity was one of the most famous people with disabilities. He faced difficulty in learning and was unable to speak until he was 3 years old. He faced major issues in doing the basic maths in school. These cases highlight the fact that different parts of the brain perform different functions. The cases also highlight that even if one part is affected, the other can still function independently. The brain is the most important control and coordination center of our body. It is the brain that controls our movements and enables us to learn, remember, think, analyze, and respond to our surroundings. Students, brain also functions as storehouse of information called memory. Memory is a complex process that includes 3 phases. Encoding, that is deciding what information is important, storing, and recalling any stimuli and its response. Different areas of the brain are involved in different types of memory. First one is short-term memory, also called working memory, occurs in the frontal lobe or cerebral cortex. It stores information for about 1 minute, and its capacity is limited to about 7 items. For example, it enables you to dial a phone number someone just told you. Second one is long-term memory. It is processed in the temporal lobe and is activated when you want to memorize something for a longer time. This memory has unlimited content and duration capacity. It contains personal memories as well as facts and figures. Third one is skill memory. It is processed in the cerebellum. It stores automatic learned memories like tying a shoe, playing an instrument, or riding a bike. If brain is so important for us, it must be protected with stronger structure. Yes, brain is covered in a bony case called skull or cranium. Have you seen walnuts? Of course, yes. If you look at the walnut, its outer shell is similar to our skull. Like walnut protect its inside fruit, the skull protects the brain inside it. Now open the walnut. You will see actual edible dry fruit. This is nothing but similar to our brain. In fact, students, walnut don't just look like brain but also good for brain. Not only by skull, the brain is also protected by three membranes called the meninges, which acts as additional protection. There is space between these membranes, which is filled with a fluid called cerebrospinal fluid that acts as a shock absorber and also nourishes it. What do you think this delicate organ is made up of? On the average, an adult human brain weighs about 1.5 kg. In the man, the average weight is about 1.3 kg and in women about 1.2 kg. And it is made up of millions of nerve cells called neurons. The brain receives information through our five senses: sight, smell, touch, taste and hearing. Often many at one time, and assembles the messages and stores the information in the form of our memory. For the sake of understanding, the brain is divided into three regions: the forebrain, the midbrain and the hindbrain. Let's learn about each of these parts and their role.